Hello, I'm here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm gonna do Escape It, which is this insane like haunted house escape room thing. You got Pennywise, you got the Losers Club. I can't record inside, but I'm gonna tell you all about it, what happens, how scary it is, how many Pennywises, all the good scares. I'll throw in some pictures too. It's gonna be sick. You're gonna enjoy this one.
So the first thing that I want to point out about this thing is that it's kind of like a speakeasy escape room. Outside of just like one sign on the side of the building, there's no big sign that says like, oh look, escape room going on right here. The building just says public dairy of work, something like that. There are some signs to let you know you're in the right spot, and once you get inside, it's pretty well themed through. The whole entire thing is just immersive as heck. You enter into like this police station where you do all your paperwork, and then you get a instructional video that tells you some rules of the whole thing, but they also set up the story. It's dairy, so of course there are some kids going missing, and we are sewer workers like the Ninja Turtles who are gonna go inside and investigate this thing. Where are these kids going? What's going on? And from there you get escorted into a sewer by one of these fellow workers who's working with you. And one of the things I like about the escape room is that it kind of escalates throughout the whole entire thing. You don't just walk in the sewer and first thing you do, it's like, bam, there's Pennywise, okay, run. The first sewer they put you in is just incredibly well themed. It makes you think you're in an actual sewer, and there are hints of Pennywise, like if you know what's going on. You got a bunch of kids' toys missing around, maybe a floating missing child poster, and you kind of like, we all know what's going on here, but it's not super explicit in the first room. And that's one thing that I thought was maybe the best part about this thing. The sets are incredible. It's like you stepped onto the actual movie set itself. It's not like some Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights little seasonal thing where they got to build it up out of like cardboard for a little bit and then just tear it down. This thing I think is going to be there for a long time, and they have some very impressive sets that look photo identical to the things in the movie. So if anything, it might just be worth it to go and do a escape room on the set of it, but it's so much more than that. As I said, it ramps up. There are some Pennywise little giggles in the corner. Maybe you'll see him reach out or something like that. You'll see a floating balloon. And the first time I saw Pennywise, it was one of like it was terrifying. It gave me a feeling I've never really felt before. I know I wasn't in danger, but like I'm not convinced. So pretty much it's like this. There's this sewer and it's kind of shaped like an L. And when we got into the sewer, there was this one actress who's sitting there and she's locked up in a cage. It doesn't really make sense. I don't know why Pennywise is locking kids up. He just gobbles them up, but I'm getting outside the point. She's locked inside this cage and she's like, oh, you gotta help me. You gotta help me. I'm all locked up. Pennywise is gonna get me. And we're all sitting there trying to help her. I'm in a group of like, there was like 7 or 8 of us, and I'm sitting there and all my people I'm with are all trying to help her. And I'm like, okay, dummies, maybe the key is back where we came. And I turn the corner and it's this dark ass sewer, right? You can't see shit. It's just a lot of fog and sewer and little like bloop, bloop, little sewer drops. And from the end, I see Pennywise creep out and he's looking all like Pennywise and he's walking towards me. My soul left my body. I was like Speedy Gonzalez, dude. It's not a race joke, okay? I just bolted. I was so out of there, and all the people who I was with was like, what's going on? What's going on? And they all look, he's gone. He's gone. And I'm like, guys, Pennywise is over there. Pennywise, he almost got me. He almost gobbled me up. It was just horrendous. And I've never really done an escape room with live actors before. And from there on out, there are a few Pennywise interactions. 10 out of 10 horror immersion experiences. It was just so scary, but also just, so sick, dude. That leads me to one of the best things about the escape rooms themselves, because there are multiple, right? You move throughout this thing, is when you finish each room, there's this moment of tension, right? Lights start flickering. Sometimes it's a little disappointing. Sometimes it's a loud, like a loud burst of air and like a loud noise. Something a little lame like that. Sometimes it's a Bill Skarsgård audio clip, but then sometimes, every once in a while, Pennywise shows up himself and he's in the room with you. When you really think about it, I don't know what would happen like if I just stood there. He's gonna be like, why aren't you running to the next room? The actress who was with us too was phenomenal, and she's there as kind of like a guide to help you out in case you're kind of dumb like Margaret. Sometimes she gives you some hints, but the other time she just is this companion character. She's improvising everything. I can walk up to her and be like, oh, we gotta try this. And she'll be like, okay. In her head, she's like, that's wrong and stupid, but I'm down to try it. You go into a lot of locations from the movie. You go into that projector room. You have a very similar recreation of that iconic projector scene. You go to the Neibolt house outside, and then you move inside, and the whole entire thing inside the Neibolt house looks identical to the actual set. Like I said, you have that clown room that Richie goes through, and even that coffin, somebody in your group has to get in the coffin at one point. It's just crazy. I really like that. We were all like pointing, doing the Spider-Man thing. Like, I'm not going in. You're going. I'm not touching that. I'm not going in that coffin. You're going in that coffin. You go to like the barn set. You see the hands burning out and creeping out like that. It was a fantastic experience. I cannot recommend it enough. I was in Vegas for like 4 days, and it was one of my favorite things I did, if not the highlight. And then at the end, of course, you have like the big finale piece of Pennywise, and he's doing his little dance. And there's a pretty actually semi-impressive animatronic for Pennywise that's talking to you and stuff like that. The dead lights, that noise is blaring in your ears. The whole thing's sick. And then it ends in a pretty substantial Pennywise chase. Like, I'm sure he adjusts his speed to who he's chasing, but you know me, dude, I saw him and I took off and I was like jogging, like, wow, this is pretty scary. And I turn around, he's running after me. Dude's not walking. He's not doing the Bryan Cranston speed walk. Okay, this ain't no idle jog from a video game. He's running, not looking back. I never moved so fast in my life. I swear. Throw me on a track right now. Usain Bolt, you're dusted, bro. Like Thanos, you're dusted, straight in the dust. And then at the end of the thing, they leave you in this arcade to look around. You can play some games. And then they have a lot of actually really cool props from the movies itself. They have one of the original Bill Skarsgård costumes he wore. They have the doors themselves from the movie, the Georgie boat, a Bill Hader funeral pamphlet, and the bikes, and a lot of other really cool things. At the end of the day, though, I thought it was awesome. I recommend it if you're in Vegas, and that was my experience.